So Wong asked me if I wanted to come with him to shoot Baja 1000. I'm normally not an automotive shooter, so of course I jumped at the opportunity, especially the chance to shoot an event as big as Baja 1000. And being in Mexico, I mean, it's a place that I've never been to. So I was really excited about it. Camden, Wong, and I rented a car and we started heading down south. We didn't really know what to expect. Camden and Wong do shoot automotive a lot, but they've never shot Baja 1000. They've shot similar events, but we were all really excited. Like I said, I've never been to Baja before. I didn't really know what to expect. I sort of felt like I was going to be out of my element, and I was looking forward to that because it's kind of good to step out of your comfort zone, especially if you've been shooting for a long time. It's good to do something that you've never done before, just to challenge yourself and see what you can accomplish.
Everything gets ripped off.
After doing those couple of shots, I was thinking, oh.
I never really knew Camden before this trip. I met him a couple times, but this will be the first time that we've gone on an extended trip with him.
Hold on, since we're here, let me figure out my goddamn Pandora info. It's pissing me off.
Wong and Camden are two photographers that I really admire their work. I've worked with Wong, so I knew what he has accomplished thus far in his career, and I've seen Camden's work before. And there are two automotive photographers that really stand out above the crowd. So I considered myself lucky that I'd be able to shoot with him.
God damn it!
We decided to spend the night in San Diego at their friend Lindbergh's place. By the time we got there, Lindbergh told us to park in spot C39. So we got there and we kept looking and looking and looking. And I looked for spot 39. Kept going 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. We had no idea where 39 was. And it was really early in the morning. I think it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. We didn't really want to disturb Lindbergh unless we really had to. So we kept trying to drive around the complex looking for spot 39. Finally, after a few minutes, we just gave up and decided to call him. And Lindbergh comes out to his balcony and he points to this empty spot.
Do you know how to count?
Hey Ron, what number is that?
Definitely not 39.
Let's throw it away. Starts at 35 and then this is somehow 30. Nah.
You counted to potatoes. Actually, I'm kind of pretty dope in here. I'm stealing this room.
Huh?
I'm stealing this room.
Lindbergh is another professional photographer. He usually gets a lot of big photo shoots for big car companies, and his work is just amazing as well.
It'd be like an axe coming at your head.
It would be. It would be you getting beheaded by the cartel.
Dude, biggest, greatest line ever.
Yeah.
Line.
Hashtag no filter.
Yeah.
What's your license plate number? I don't know. Ooh. What do you want me to do? No, I'm gonna email it to my mom.
We wanted to limit the number of times that we were going to open our trunk, so we got our gear ready before we hit the road. We tried to make it easily accessible to us and sort of hidden from anybody else that might kind of see. Being our first time in Mexico, we tried to take every precaution that we could. We also wanted to make sure that our banks knew that we were going to be in a foreign country so they don't lock our credit cards.
I'll be in Ensenada, Mexico. A bit above half. So $30.
Keep right for I-15 south toward only.
South toward only?
Triplets? Like, we need to go to Miramar.
Dude, that's sick.
What?
3:30.
In 9 miles.
Yeah.
Keep left on
What if those are
C-18
F-22s?
south.
So we finally get across the border. Actually, Mexican border saw me recording some footage and they made me delete it in front of them because apparently it's illegal. Whatever, I don't know. As soon as we crossed the border, we started heading towards the coast to head south towards Ensenada. And driving through, it hit me like, this is my first time ever in Mexico. And then I look over to my right and I see the actual Mexican-USA border. I guess I was just really shocked to see an actual fence just stretching along the road.
It goes right on the water.
Oh, this fence right here?
That's the border.
Yeah, it is. Let's get caught trying to cross it.
Let's cross over illegally, but actually have all the documents.
What the fuck?
It's a crazy ass border.
As we started to drive south, you started to get more of the scenery of Baja, and just driving through there, it felt very much like a coastal kind of city. I mean, it did have that third world kind of rundown sort of feel, but at the same time, it was very beach and coastal type of place.
There's a town called La Fonda. Yes.
Can we take another picture of that?
Federales.
Is it?
It was still really beautiful, I mean, just from what we've seen so far, just driving down along the coast side. Then you start seeing these big buildings that sort of got abandoned halfway through development, standing next to other hotels or apartments that were fully developed. And I don't know what the story was, whether they ran out of money or they just decided not to build it anymore, but it was just a weird sight to see. And then we start seeing things like Walmart and Home Depot, and it's like, okay, so this city isn't really completely run down in third world country.
Cali Max.
We need to get a watermelon from a guy in a truck. Because we didn't get one in Texas.
We could have, but I was too scared.
We can't get it.
What is a pitayas? Pitayas.
And that's how Wong got arrested.
We finally get to Ensenada, and the Contingency is going on. It's where there's having a parade of all the cars, and everybody's kind of just getting ready for the start of the race. And it's basically where the start line is, and TV crews and fans and locals and people from different countries are all here. So we grabbed a few of our gear and we started walking towards the media center so we can grab our credentials. There's just so many people everywhere. Baja 1000 is such a huge deal in Mexico. It draws such a huge fan base, and everybody's there to see the trophy trucks.
Yeah, get it, Ron.
Yeah.
And you fall over on the stairs like, ah!
I don't know.
This is the first event where I got credentials, and Wong put me under his company name of Emotive Image.
Really? That's like we're out of small. Small out of medium.
This is just an everyday common occurrence for Camden and Wong, but for me, it was a pretty big deal.
Still waiting on Camden.
Huh?
Still waiting for you.
Yeah, I guess.
We headed back outside and checked out the area and started taking some photos.
Down sipping, never had a palm reading, always had my palms itching, time to get it. Boy, I was taught to get it till it's gone. Even when I got it, watch me get it like I don't. Hold up. Tell me what you see, pull up, swerve. Watch these motherfuckers freak. Say what up, though, when you see me in the street. Good music in this bitch, now drop that motherfucking beat. Okay, now this to all of my enemies. So see me getting guap right now, see me getting guap right now, see me getting guap right now. This to all of my hating hoes that see me getting guap right now, see me getting guap right now. Hell yeah, won't stop right now.
I didn't really know what to do. I was kind of just following these guys, watching them do their work.
So far, you think you're somebody important now?
So there was a special stunt going on that day. Adrian Senni was going to attempt to be the first person to do a barrel roll in his truck. So there's a big crowd, and I got to see it firsthand, like right in front of the fence. Pretty cool sight, actually.
This is how Ron ran out of battery right before the car flipped. Click go.
So we brought some tents, and we decided to sleep in hotel resorts that had campground sites. So the first night we were at Estero Beach Hotel and Resort. The passport's in the car too.
What's insane?
You gonna post pool pictures?
Yeah, Bob. 0 a.m. to 9 p.m. So we gotta get in.
Shit, dude. Keep the camera rolling. Imagine that. Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm getting off. Hold on.
And we was walking out, and it turned out that there were a few racers there, just tuning their cars and getting ready for the race, including Robbie Gordon, who is a pretty famous racer. The race was going to start at around 11 p.m. local time, so we went back to the start-finish line to get ready for the race. And this is where I really got the sense that Baja was very similar to the Philippines, and just the scene as we were driving by, it just reminded me very much of the Philippines. As we were walking back to the media center just to kind of kill time before the race actually started, you get this really sense of calm. Everybody was kind of just getting focused, and everybody was waiting for the race to start. So we shot the bicyclists for a little bit, and then we decided to head down the canal, which is part of the race, get more shots of the bikes and the quads.
No new friends, no new.
Walking in Baja. Take 48.
No new friends. No.
After a couple of hours, we went back to our tent to go to sleep.
Bitch, close. Alright, we're gonna sleep with a partially open door.
Doors open, man?
Doors open, main. Cool. It is now 1:56. I'm gonna set the alarm for 5:30.
We wanted to get a head start on the race. We didn't really have a full game plan. We didn't really know what to expect. But we did know where the route was, and we wanted to stop by at certain checkpoints that were along the main road. There weren't a lot of main roads in Baja, but there were a few that kind of crossed paths with the actual race course, so we wanted to get to those spots so we can shoot a couple hours away, so we knew we had to get an early start on the day.
Extendo clip. Extendo roll. When your girl leave me, she need a house alone.
We didn't really know what to expect. We didn't know what time cars would get there as far as scheduling goes, but we kind of guessed. Driving through these roads allowed us to see more of the Baja scenery, and that's when Baja really kind of surprised me. I mean, it wasn't all just sand dunes and desert. It had some beautiful backcountryside and amazing landscapes, actually. And I just never expected to see this in Baja.
It's like driving down that Stunts beach. Oh my god, that was a long drive.
That's just a pan over here. Get you out of the frame.
After a couple of hours, we decided to stop to shoot more of the beautiful landscape and take advantage of what we were seeing.
I'm trying to tell where the course fucking went.
As we were driving on the main road, we saw a bunch of cars in this area, and we knew it was part of a pit stop, so we pulled over to check it out. Some of the best tacos that I've ever had was out of this guy's van in the middle of the Baja Desert. I kid you not, it was probably the best lengua taco I've ever had. So we decided to wait for the action to start coming. We didn't really know how long it would take for the trophy trucks to get to us, but I think we ended up waiting almost 2 hours before the truck started to come. Finally, in the distance, we start seeing dust getting kicked up, and we hear a helicopter in the distance, so we knew something was coming. That's when we grabbed our gear and got to work. This was my first taste of Baja 1000. Having big trucks speeding by less than 10 feet away from us. And then getting lost in a cloud of dust. After a couple hours there, we started heading east again towards the Gulf. There was another checkpoint south of San Felipe that we wanted to hit up around sunset time, but we were driving for at least another couple hours. We got to one of the night pits and it got really hectic. There were a lot of trucks and buggies going through, and a lot of trucks stopped for maintenance. I think one truck actually showed up with one tire missing. It was kind of fun and hectic at the same time to kind of be running around, getting as many shots as we could.
It's a Chinese restaurant, yo.
After shooting the night pits, we went to San Felipe to go get some dinner and check into our second resort camping spot. We got to this place that was serving spaghetti, and there were just Americans everywhere, and we joked around and called it the U.S. Embassy just because it was the closest thing to America that we've seen in Mexico so far.
Do they have tacos here?
But there was a guy singing I Left My Heart in San Francisco, and it was just kind of oddly fitting that we were from there, and he's singing that song.
That's so weird. This song
Is he singing?
I don't know what this song is.
Oh, he's singing.
It calls to me to be where little cable car.
So we were waiting in the patio area for a waitress to ask for our orders. It was close to about 40 minutes and nobody came to our table. When we figured no one was going to come serve us, we decided to leave and get dinner somewhere else. After dinner, we went down to our campsite and decided to pitch our tent. And I realized that our campsite was actually on the beach, and it was beautiful that night. It was such a calm night. And they had showers there too, which was great. But the showers kind of had holes in the wall that kind of led to outside, so I was wondering if those were like peephole. I hope nobody saw me. But the beach area that we camped out at was beautiful. It wasn't too far from the water, and the stars were shining bright that night too.
Is this your mix one?
Unfortunately, we were only there for a couple hours because we had to head to the next checkpoint. The next checkpoint was when I realized how much waiting we actually had to do. I mean, with such a long race and such a great distance that these cars had to follow, there's going to be a long time before our cars got to certain points. And we were waiting almost 40 minutes to an hour before a truck would come. And this one was kind of hard for me to kind of stay awake. I mean, it was really early in the morning and I was cold and I kind of lost Wong and Camden for a little bit, so I decided to take a nap in the car. I woke up just in time to watch a sunrise, and it was probably one of the most beautiful sunrises that I've ever seen. The lighting was just really gorgeous on the land, and that's when a lot of the cars and the trucks and the dune buggies started to come by. Later on in the morning, we went to this other spot where we saw some of the trophy trucks veering off the side of the road into this little path, and it was more of the same, just waiting and waiting and waiting for trucks to come by. At this point, we were pretty tired of having to wait for so long. And then we stopped in a valley that had these huge rock formations, and we can hear the cars in the distance driving through the mountains. And then couple minutes later, they would reach us. After shooting there, we decided to stop into town to get some Chinese food because it was the first Chinese food place that we saw, and we had to get it. It was run by a Chinese woman who had a Chinese son who spoke fluent Spanish and Chinese and a little bit of English, so it was pretty amazing actually. During lunch, Wong checked his phone to get an update on the race, and that's when we found out that one of the racers had actually passed away the night before. Kurt Castelli was the first person to start the Baja 1000 in 2013, and he was also the only contestant, I believe, that was doing it Ironman, which meant that he was racing the whole course by himself on his bike. He got to about the 700-mile marker or 800-mile marker, and I guess he struck his head and died instantly from head trauma. The original speculation was that it was a booby trap that caused it, which is very common for the Baja 1000, but I think they determined that it was just a freak accident. In any case, he was a very popular racer, and I think the racing world lost a good guy that day. We went back to the media center just to kill some more time and edit some photos because we knew that the trucks were on their way back to the finish, so we were waiting around for them to come back.
They made a GT3 car. Same with your own son.
There's a
What if they showed up?
Camden's laptop. We went back to the canal just to wait for the buggies and the trucks to come through. And of course, we waited a long time before they came. Finally, towards the end of the day, the trucks started coming in a little bit more frequently. We went back to the finish line, just trying to shoot as they crossed the stage, and we're getting interviewed by the TV crew. We were pretty beat by this point.
Wow. Wow, such focus?
This is the closest that I can get.
Not that close?
POV. Oh shit.
We were planning on staying one more night to shoot the trophy ceremony the next day, but I think by this point we just had enough of Baja and just wanted to get back home. So we were discussing whether or not we should head back that night. So we packed up our bags and we started heading north towards the border. We did a ton of driving throughout Baja, and I think we got a really good variety of shots, and we were the only photographers that I noticed that we were out along the course shooting. Most of the media, most of the photographers stayed at the start finish. I don't think we ran into any other photographers, and I think that's what kind of makes Wong and Camden stand out from other photographers, is the fact that they go out there and get the shots that they're looking for.
He dropped them off?
650 good.
So you can try to process?
I mean, I wasn't really shooting for anybody. I was kind of just there, just experiencing the whole thing. And, you know, like I said, I've never shot automotive before, and my first automotive race is the Baja 1000. I mean, you know, how lucky am I to be able to say that?
That's another place where I wanted to go to. Hey, look, it's the US.
I tried my best. I wasn't trying to copy what Wong and Camden were doing. I guess I had my own style, and I tried to bring that with this. And having seen Wong and Camden's work, I guess there were sort of shots that I wanted to mimic, but not really fully copy. I'll see images in my head of what I want to capture, and and then I'll try to work on capturing that image.
Everywhere else.
Oh my god, it's so fascinating.
I love America!
But I think I was just really excited about finally being able to get back to US soil.
I love America. Border Patrol!
I told Wong, whatever you do not make a wrong turn. And of course, Wong does. So we end up in the wrong lane at the border crossing, and it just brings us right back into Tijuana.
This is going back to Tijuana. Is this the car?
Exclusivo federal
Is this the carpooling?
HOV. Over.
So finally we figure it out, and we are just stuck in this long line for the border crossing. I mean, I don't even know how far ahead the crossing is, but all I see are just cars not moving in front of us.
Okay, which lane is faster?
Obviously, the freeway goes this way now.
¿Dónde está el fast track lane?
We're the lane for Americans.
And then we start to see these street vendors. Are just people selling everything from snacks to food to gifts to even puppies. And you know, I really thought, like, this is Mexico. Like, this is what third world countries do. I mean, I saw this a lot in the Philippines as well. And these are just people that are trying to make ends meet, and this is just the life that they know. I couldn't help but sympathize with them. You know, and it really got me thinking, like, how lucky we are to be living in the U.S. and having to go through such a hard life like this. I don't know if I'd be able to handle it. I mean, these people have to in order to survive. And they make a living doing this.
Somebody's closing up shop.
The closer and closer we got to border crossing, the more anxious I got. I just wanted to get back in the U.S. soil so bad. And finally, we get back to San Diego. And we're just so relieved. We went back to Lindbergh's place for another night, and we were just so happy to be back. And what's our first meal when we get back? That's right, Taco Bell.
Are you done taking pictures?
No photo. Pictures.
So since we had that extra day, we decided to spend the day just hanging out in San Diego, and we ended up going on the USS Midway. It was cool. I mean, I've never been on an aircraft carrier before, and I was just really excited to be there, actually. I got to see some of my favorite planes.
Oh, move back.
It's a tour. Ow.
We were all pretty much little kids in a playground.
Alright, so we still haven't decided.
We got to go on the flight deck, and I learned about the whole process of launching aircrafts. If you don't know, San Diego is a beautiful city. I've never been a SoCal person, but I said that if I ever moved to SoCal, it'd be in San Diego.
How many times have you said that to someone though? First time. First time. You should be proud. Glad on your first time.
At the wedding. The ceremony.
Joe, keep going.
I can't.
Keep going.
It's really hard.
Yeah, you can. I believe in you.
The next day, we said goodbye to Lindbergh, and we packed up our stuff, and we made the long trip back up home.
Yes. Oh my god, don't trip me.
dramatic look over.
This is Alex contemplating about his life.
Huh?
It's BLNs, I don't care.
That's good enough.
It was actually a really fun trip. I mean, I don't remember if it felt really long or if it felt really short, but we did a lot. And we shot a lot and we drove a lot. But I think we were just really tired and excited to finally be able to get back home.
Was it my wheel? Is it because I'm a fat ass?
Camden's crazy because he had to drive back up to Portland the day that we got back to San Francisco. As soon as we got back home, he took off and left because he had to. And he had some sort of deadline, but that was a lot. That's crazy for him to do that right away. You know, I consider myself really lucky to be given this opportunity, and I would have never been in this position if it weren't for Wong and Camden. And I'm extremely grateful for that because I don't know when I'll be able to do this again. Until next year.